For 100 years, AGC of Tennessee members have built infrastructure and buildings to connect communities in our state. Nashville's occupation during the Civil War laid the groundwork for turning a quiet town into a bustling city. It saw an economic boom as industrial giant DuPont came to town in 1918 to make gunpowder for the war effort. The population of Nashville swelled by 30%, and the meteoric rise of commercial construction was in full swing. War efforts created deep divides in the local construction community regarding building supplies, contracts, and scheduling. The Nashville chapter of the Associated General Contractors of Tennessee was formed in 1920 to ease those tensions. J.W.N. Lee of Rock City Construction, E.G. Holliday of Holliday Construction, and John A. Wilson of Wilson Wessner Contractors Equipment took on the arduous task of addressing industry pain points with local officials. 100 years later, AGC of Tennessee is still working with Metro Council for payment clauses, density concerns, and fair legislation. The first AGC meetings were held at 177 2nd Avenue North. AGC now owns our current building on 2924 Foster Creighton Drive. The same street housed a founding member company, Foster Creighton Contracting Company. By late 1920, Nashville construction work had come to a grinding halt due to issues with architects and lingering contract issues with subcontractors. AGC created a task force composed of subcontractors to work with Bush Sneed, president of the Nashville Contractors Association, to regulate payment policies and get men back to work. Bush Building Company was the forefather of Wasco Masonry. Members of the Nashville AGC traveled to New Orleans for the AGC of America convention in early 1921. They hoped to learn more about how to raise the standards of integrity and skill in business. They brokered a deal with local subcontractors to temporarily reduce wages to draw more business to the Nashville area. On May 24, 1922, the Nashville chapter AGC hosted AGC President Arthur Bent from Los Angeles to speak to the Chamber of Commerce and other business leagues about trade conditions in the United States. On April 11, 1926, Associated General Contractors of Nashville endorses and co-hosts a contractor exposition with the Nashville Contractors Association called Build Your Own Home and Building Exposition. This was the first event of its kind ever held in Nashville. In 1933, Roosevelt delivered on the New Deal and put Americans back to work. These government contracts made the Corps of Engineers the general contractor on federal projects. On March 26, 1935, Public Works Act projects became available to Nashville private contractors for bid. WPA projects for Nashville included the downtown post office, now the Frisch Museum, Berry Field Airport, now known as B&A, and Warner Parks. AGC fought for the ability of private contractors to bid on WPA projects. World War II extended the New Deal economic stimulus with defense industries. Camp Campbell, Fort Campbell, was established in Clarksville, and the Vultee aircraft plant opened near the airport for the manufacture of the Vultee Vengeance bomber. There were even Nashville Rosies. The wartime restrictions imposed on steel, copper, nickel, and other critical defense materials threatened the commercial construction industry throughout the early 1940s. AGC of America predicted a construction record-breaking year of $19 billion for 1950. AGC then represented 80% of the building industry and had recently polled membership to find that building costs had stabilized and volume seemed to be increasing. The industry's optimism stemmed from the massive backlog of public and private projects imposed by the war. The 1949 Federal Housing Act encouraged private sector redevelopment for disadvantaged areas. Nashville's commercial contractors began reshaping the landscape north and west of the Capitol building to make way for James Robertson Parkway, Victory Memorial Bridge, and Cordell Hull Office Building. In late December of 1954, Nashville AGC awarded its first Area Lifetime Achievement Award to Wilbur Foster Creighton for his achievement as a builder and tireless effort to promote skill, integrity, and responsibility among general contractors. The late 1950s saw many changes in Nashville's infrastructure. A multi-million-dollar road program attracted road builders from all over the South. AGC spokesmen claimed the increased interest shown by road contractors could help keep the pricing down. The Nashville AGC chapter joined the AGC of America's fight in August of 1958 with TVA's self-performing construction trend, citing the fact that using local contractors could save up to 25% on most jobs. An increasing amount of northern companies were relocating into Middle Tennessee to take advantage of cheap labor. The influx of various union practices in the early 1960s forced Metro Council to establish a wage determination board comprised of 3 union reps, 3 merit shop reps, and the Director of Public Works. Nashville AGC was invited to join as a union representative. Our chapter successfully negotiated labor disputes for the Cheatham County Power Plant, as well as the 100 Oaks Shopping Center. These relations helped to expand AGC's existing divisions to include utility contractors. On February 27, 1966, Nashville AGC announced the merger of the Utilities Contractors Association to form the Tennessee Contractors Association. Together, they worked to regulate the surge in sewer and water line construction as Nashville expanded beyond existing infrastructure. Later that year, AGC Nashville chapter was established and awarded 2 scholarships for Vanderbilt School of Engineering students. Fuel shortages in the early 1970s threatened existing project completions. Construction rates slowed for 1971 and 1972 as oil companies refused to commit a specific percentage of their stock to our industry's needs. AGC of America lobbied to have the construction industry reclassified as a priority industry. Tensions between union and merit shop factions of the industry continued to escalate through strikes and lockouts throughout the 1970s and 80s. By the end of the 1980s, most AGC of Tennessee contractors were operating as non-union employers. Construction of the Grand Ole Opry, Opryland USA Theme Park, and the Opryland Hotel kept the Nashville area working through a sluggish economy. The mid-1980s belonged to the Clarksville area members of AGC. Montgomery County participation swelled as Cecil Morgan and Jerry Drum took the reins of AGC leadership. Jerry Drum rallied several local contractors to complete a 6-acre lake at the Clarksville Fairground Park. The team completed the project as a gift for the city, which had recently run out of funding for the improvement. In 1987, the separate Nashville, Memphis, Knoxville, and Tri-Cities AGC chapters decided to form a more cohesive unit to accomplish statewide goals for the industry. A state office and board of AGC of Tennessee was created. A self-insured health and life program was offered to AGC members. The 1990s felt the beginnings of the skilled trade labor shortage. AGC of Tennessee began urging schools to return craft training as an elective and seeking out more women for field positions. A self-insured insurance program called Comp Trust was offered to members to combat rising workers' compensation premiums. Nashville construction was once again booming by early 2007. Employment in the construction sector rose by more than 7% over the previous year. Those existing projects and contracts helped to hold off the crippling effects of the stock market crash later that year. After the 2008 recession, flood recovery efforts in 2010 helped to bolster Nashville construction and put people back to work. Construction began on the Music City Center and the Gulch. These projects anchored Nashville's revitalization attempts and ignited the construction boom still prevalent today. However, the recession forced much of the skilled labor pool to leave the industry. AGC of Tennessee rallied the other construction associations to pass the Go Build Tennessee legislation. This effort created and funded a marketing campaign for careers in construction in Tennessee. Additionally, the associations partnered to pass the Improve Act, which created a revenue stream dedicated to significant infrastructure investment across the state. Through it all, AGC of Tennessee works tirelessly to promote better legislation, mediate local tensions, bolster construction spending, build tomorrow's workforce, and provide the safety training necessary to bring workers home each night. For 100 years, AGC of Tennessee has shaped the landscape of construction with the same core values of skill, integrity, and responsibility.